All right, let's do this, man. So, here's our database. It's 3 o'clock, 3:20 in the morning. Talk about this and get it done. So anyhow, here's all our tables for our database. I was trying to figure out how to make a form that can populate like numerous tables at once, but I just could not figure it out. So what I'm going to show you is how to use a form wizard. We're going to do one table at a time. So I'm going to show you how I did armor. Just basically pick the armor table, hit all the attributes for the armor table, and let's give it, we'll call our form armor form, and then we'll save her up. Hit save. Now if you scroll down, you'll see here's basically our armor form, and here's where the forms are down here. Let me go ahead and show you how to make a query real quick too. So here, if you want to make a query, you can just click on Query Design. Select the table. So let's say we wanted to query the armor table. Just click Armor, hit Add, and close that out. So let's say we wanted to find the different armor names and for, let's say, the different types for such as like helm. So we would just go ahead and click on Armor Types. And in criteria, we can type in helm. And that's going to basically allow us to be able to pull every type of helms off from the armor table. Click on Run. And looky here, we got a nice query that pulls all our helms off our forms, our armor table. So let's say we wanted to get all the attributes for that helm, for all the various helms. What we can do is just, if you grab the armor stat table, then also grab has armor stats, I think is the name of that table. But basically they're linked together. I made relationships, so you can just go ahead and just pull the whatever you pull on one table, it's going to pull it on the other table, if that makes sense. So if you pull armor name on one table, it links to the stats on the armor stats table. So just by having all these three tables all linked together, all the stuff will pull together at once. So if you just go ahead, I can't. You want to be under the design whenever you run these things. I'm sitting there looking for it. I want to just run a query. There we go. It's under design. And click on Run. Now you see that we had the armor names of helm, and we got all the helms, and now we also get all the stats. So that's basically how you put together a query. Let's go back to our form. I'm going to show you how we're going to deal with the forms here. Let's clean it up just a little bit. You can go into design. Design allows you to be able to kind of move things around. But anyhow, one of the things I like to do on this form is we're just trying to make it look as nice as possible. So let's get rid of that little black sidebar. Come over here, click Say No, get rid of that. Let's get rid of the header up on top where it says Auto Form. Just click on it, hit Delete, and that makes that look a heck of a lot better. I just did a few other things, just kind of make it look a little bit nicer. I clicked on special effects. I highlighted all the text boxes and made nice little special effects. But anyhow, let's do this. We're going to add some buttons to this form because we basically want this form to do a few functions. So let's go ahead. There's three buttons I want to do. We're going to add a delete button, an undo button, and a save button. So you can just basically take your buttons, and as soon as you try to put the button onto the form, it's going to ask you what type of buttons that you want, because there's already some macro functionality built into some of the things. Like so, if you drag on a delete button or undo button, it already has the macro that's associated with that button. So I'm going to bring on three buttons. One's undo, one's going to be delete, one's going to be save. Actually going to code in the save stuff. notice that they're all one on top of the other. You can go into form design and you can kind of drag things around. So just went into the design view, kind of drag them around. If you want to get them all nice, what you can do is hit Control, and then you can highlight each one of them. So you hit Control, then you come over here to the side, and you can set the width and the height, and that way they'll all the same uniformity. Yeah, so you can play around with that. Just, you know, the key is here, we just want to make the form look nice. You know, make sure everything's you know, justified, top, aligned, all that good stuff. So I'm just showing here that you can mess around with the, you know, a lot of half the battle is just make everything look nice. If it looks nice, it most likely is nice. Versus if it looks like shit, it is shit. And it doesn't matter how well it forms, you know, how nice it does. Just if you make it look nice, it will be nice. It'll at least be perceived as nice. So anyhow, just kind of cleaned up the form here, making everything kind of dress right dress. And what we're going to do next is we're going to actually assign what's going to happen with these buttons as we're playing around with them. So first thing I want to do, I'm going to name these buttons and add a picture for the save button. So you can kind of look and see, but next thing I want to do is just kind of give them a proper name. So just go through, give them you know, a good username. I think I'm putting command and undo, command delete, and that way if I need to assign functionality to them, other functionality, I know what the name of them, rather than button 2 or 3. So anyhow, we're going to assign a macro. So I just basically went to the event and clicked on click, and then here I'm going to type in close window. So basically, once we save, I want the form to close because I'm going to be all done with the form at that point. So you type in close window, then you put in object type is form, the name of our form. I don't think I saved the form for some reason, so because I didn't save the form, it's not registering the form. So I'm going to be playing around with this for a second to get the stupid form it will auto-populate. I have to go back and save it. But while I'm doing that, I'm just going to let you know that basically we have 3 functions here, right? We got the undo, we got our save, and we got our delete. I'm going to add a thing for the delete when I click on delete for it to close out, but I'm not so sure that we want to do that. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me to close the form. So we might want to even consider just having a button, you know, a button to close the form out. So, because right now the way that we're going to set it up, and I'm just kind of following this tutorial. But basically, we come over here, we have undo. We click on the undo. Now, once again, I'm going to put close the form up. I'm not really 100%. Do we really want to close the form up every time we undo? So you might want to revisit this afterwards and just say this might not be quite the functionality we're looking for. I want to be able to undo, but I don't necessarily want the form to close out when I undo. I think what we want to do is just when we hit save, the save button. I like the fact when you hit save, we're all done. And maybe with a close and undo, maybe we should just leave them just whatever functionality they have normally embedded. But anyhow, this just shows you how if you want to close out a form, we can assign different functionalities to each one of these buttons. It's pretty straightforward, no big deal. And what we also, I don't think you see it right here, I think on this one, what's got to happen is that when we assign this on close, so we come in here, we type in window close. It's actually got to be underneath this menu command. So when you do make these, you have to kind of slide them up underneath the menu command. That's where they actually go. And that was a little bit, there's a good tutorial online that pretty much follows the same thing. So I will send out that link sometime tomorrow. But it's not anything too awful difficult here. Once again, you just put in form. The name of the form is whatever you called your form when you made it. And all this is going to do is, so when you click on the button, it's going to close out the form when you're all done. So that's why I'm saying, like, when we delete a form, do we really want to close out the form every time we delete something? That seems kind of silly. But anyhow, like I said, we can look at that, revisit that. So pretty much we have a nice form right here. This is going to update our armor, and it's only just our armor table. Now I'm going to have to do one for armor stats, one for is armor type. So I don't know any other way. I tried. So anyhow, here I'm showing that I'm making a new form. I'm calling it just the DB GUI form. And basically what we'll do is we'll use this form to be able to put all our buttons. So we have like one place, one form that we go to edit our database. So everyone will just drop their buttons onto this form. And basically I'm just going to make two buttons. One's going to be to add. Will be an add button, add armor, and the other one will be to edit armor. That way we have two different functions. So basically we made one form, but with that one form we'll have an add function and we'll have an edit function. So in reality, you make one form to do both. But we're going to use these buttons here. We're going to give them an on-click function to open that form. And yeah, let's see. Let me go over here. Sorry about that. We'll go over here. We're going to give them an on-click function in the assign a macro. And the macro will be to open the form. So let's see here. Open form. Yep. And then we tell it what form we want to open, which is it's obviously for me it's my armor form. And tell it it's a dialog. It's right here, and that's it. So let's save it up. So that's basically it's going to open up so I can peruse all the various items. And now I want to open the form. Now this is to make a new form. So I say open form. Once again, it's going to be the armor form. And we want dialog. And here, I forget what exactly it is. It's add. So now we're going to see how this actually works. So when we click on, we need to be in form view. Click on edit armor. Notice that we can now edit the different areas. If we go here to add, notice that it starts off in a blank form, and we can type in. So we'll just type in some test numbers. Now this makes sense to me, right? When I hit save, I want the form to close out, so I'm fine with that. Now we go back here to edit, and there's the one that we just added in there. So I want to delete it. Ask me if I'm sure I want to delete it. I'm not so sure that I want it to close out each time, so we might have to take a look at that. So, that's it.